After she was gone, Harold didn't move anything in the house for weeks. Her teacup still sat on the kitchen counter, just where she'd left it. The cushion on her side of the couch remained slightly indented. Her gardening gloves, worn and soft at the fingertips, rested by the back door like she might come and slip them on at any moment. Grief has a strange way of freezing time. The calendar pages turned, but Harold's days didn't. Each morning he made his coffee. Black, just the way he'd always had it, but the sound of only one mug being placed on the table echoed louder than any silence he'd ever known. The first night after Margaret's passing, Harold left the porch light on. He didn't mean to. He just forgot to turn it off. Or maybe, deep down, some quiet part of him wasn't ready for complete darkness. Maybe the porch light was his way of saying, "I'm still here," or "come back if you can." Or perhaps it was just easier than choosing. He didn't know why he left it on, but he did. The second night too, and the third. And then it became a ritual. After dinner, after washing the one plate, one fork, and one cup, Harold would stand by the window and look out at the quiet street. Most of the houses went dark by 9 p.m. A few flickering TVs glowed through thin curtains. But his house, his porch, held a steady light. A soft halo of gold spilling gently over the steps and onto the walkway. He never sat outside. Not like before. But the light was there, always there. Neighbors began to notice. At first, no one said anything. Then one day at the mailbox, Mrs. Donnelly from across the street asked, "You know your porch light's been on every night?" Harold gave a small nod. "Yes," he said with a soft smile. "I leave it on, in case someone needs it." She didn't ask more. She just smiled back and said, "Well, it's nice. Makes the street feel safer somehow." And so the light stayed on. Days turned into weeks. Winter gave way to a hesitant spring. The snow melted, the trees began to bud, and robins returned to nest under the eaves. But the heaviness in Harold's chest didn't quite melt away with the frost. Some nights were harder than others, the kind of nights where the silence pressed against the walls, where sleep didn't come, and the bed felt colder on her side. On those nights he would walk down the stairs in the dark and sit in the front room, facing the porch, just watching the light. There was comfort in its quiet constancy, like a candle left in the window for someone lost at sea. Then one rainy Thursday in April, something changed. The sky had been gray all day. A soft, steady drizzle fell across the town, soaking the sidewalks and blurring the streetlights. Around 8:15 p.m., just as Harold was about to head upstairs, there was a knock at the door. He froze. It had been months since anyone had knocked, especially this late. When he opened the door, he found a young woman standing there, drenched, shivering, and clearly trying to look brave. I'm so sorry to bother you," she said, wiping her wet hair from her face. "My car broke down a few blocks away. My phone died. I didn't know where to go, but I saw your light was on." Harold nodded slowly. "Come in. You're safe here." She stepped inside with hesitation, like someone unsure of her place in the world. Harold fetched an old towel from the hallway closet and made her a cup of tea, chamomile, Margaret's favorite. They sat in the kitchen. The rain tapped gently on the windows. The teapot hissed softly. The young woman, whose name was Rachel, wrapped her hands around the mug and exhaled slowly. The warmth seemed to melt her guard. "My mom used to leave the porch light on for me," she said quietly. "Even when I was an adult. Said it was her way of praying without words." Harold didn't say anything for a while. Then he nodded. "That sounds like something Margaret would have done." They didn't talk about much after that. Just small things. Old songs. The smell of spring rain. The way chamomile always reminded her of being 8 years old. When the tow truck arrived, Harold walked her to the door. She turned to him, eyes soft but steady, and said, "Thank you. I know it was just a light, but it made me feel like someone was still awake in the world. Like I wasn't alone out there." Harold watched as the truck's red taillights disappeared down the road. Then he turned back to the house, stood in the doorway for a long time, and looked at the porch light. It buzzed faintly in the mist, painting the rain in golden streaks. And for the first time in a long time, the light didn't feel lonely. It felt purposeful, anchored. He smiled, a real smile, not the polite kind. The kind that starts from somewhere behind the ribs and slowly rises. That night, before bed, Harold wrote a small note and taped it on the inside of the front door. Just 6 words. "This light is for you two."